Good evening. The May 19th, 2025 meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ms. Bartholomew McCoy. Here. Ms. Bartholomew McCoy is present. Chairman Blinkley.
Here.
Chairman Blinkley is present. Mr. Johns. Mr. Johns is present. Mr. Long. Mr. Long is present. Ms. McIntyre.
Here.
Ms. McIntyre is present.
Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
No, there's not.
Is there anyone present who is not signed up to speak that would like to address the committee at this time? Seeing none. Next up, we have Pat Gooch, Senior Planner from Monroe County's Planning and Development Department, who will be giving us a brief overview of the 2026 to 2031 Capital Improvement Program as it pertains to the Intergovernmental Relations Committee. I'll hand it over to you. Thank you, Mr. Gooch.
Thank you, Chairperson Blankley. You should all have a copy of the recommended 2026-2031 CIP. This report reflects the culmination of an 11-month process beginning in late summer with departments proposing a 6-year funding plan for capital projects. A committee reviews the proposed projects, learns about specific needs from department representatives, and requires changes based on project priority and fiscal constraints on the program. After review by the county executive, the CIP is submitted to the county planning board. The planning board reviews the CIP, holds a public hearing, and sets priorities for the capital budget year, 2026. The planning board returns the proposed CIP to the county executive, who then submits the recommended CIP to your honorable body. At the June meeting of the legislature, you will set a public hearing for July, and then, upon your favorable review, vote to adopt the plan. There are no funding approvals associated with taking action on this referral. There are 2 sections of the proposed CIP pertinent to this committee: Department of Information Services and the Board of Elections. Departments only appear in the CIP program if they have a project in the 6-year program. You'll recall that the county clerk's office appeared in last year's 6-year program, and you've likely noticed that it does not appear this year. They do not have any new projects moving forward. Looking at information services, they support network connectivity across the county, as well as human resources, finance, and asset management tools, online presence and web applications, PCs, servers, and copiers. Their work supports every department, and they work closely with departments when a specific needs call for their expertise. Their program is described on pages 8 and 9 of the recommended 2026-2031 CIP. All of their projects are funded with county cash, meaning the funds come from the county operating budget and not through borrowing. The Information Services program accounts for just over 3% of the total capital program. Flipping ahead to page 10 is the Board of Elections. Currently, the only project in the CIP is scheduled to conclude in 2026. The voting equipment project is an update of the no-ink electronic poll book system. The New York State Board of Elections advises the local Board of Elections to refresh the electronic poll books every 5 to 7 years from the initial date of purchase. The Board of Elections program accounts for just under 0.4% of total funding in the proposed CIP. I will be happy to take questions when you get to this item on your agenda. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gooch. The next item on our agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the April 21st, 2025 minutes of this committee before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business. Madam Clerk.
Referral 25-0158. Adopt the 2026-2031 Capital Improvement Program.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Legislator Long, seconded by Legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Legislator McIntyre.
All right. Well, through the chair, were any projects in this portion of the CIP delayed, downsized, canceled? I know there aren't that many. Are there any changes to the CIP with regards to these particular projects? Regarding the IGR committee.
Through the chair, there are no changes regarding these specific projects and these specific departments.
Okay. And also just a general question. Of all the changes to the capital improvement program, are any of these affected by federal funding?
Through the chair, oh, excuse me. Through the chair, there are concerns about federal funding that comes into Monroe County for these programs. Each department is tasked with identifying those and identifying what those are. Typically, those funding areas are pretty consistent and they are not something that fluctuate from year to year. So we are hopeful that we will see the full amount of funding, but we cannot make any promises. And we will adjust the CIP accordingly.
Mhm. And through the chair, would it be possible for us to have, for the caucus to have a list of the projects that may be affected by federal funding changes?
Through the chair, of course.
Okay, thank you so much. I yield.
Thank you very much. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Item carries. Next item, please.
Referral 25-0178, authorize an intermunicipal agreement with the Hilton Central School District for the purchase of fuel for vehicles of the Monroe County Sheriff's Office.
Move it. Second.
Moved by legislator Long, seconded by legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0179, authorizing intermunicipal agreements with Monroe County School Districts for security assistance and crowd control at special events.
Move. Second.
Moved by legislator Long, seconded by legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion on this item?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, legislator McIntyre.
Yes, through the chair. It is to my understanding that this funding will not be utilized, or I'm sorry, that this agreement with the Sheriff's Department will not be utilized in standard school board meetings. Is that correct?
Through the chair, Chief Deputy Fowler for the Sheriff's Office. That question hasn't been posed yet to us. Theoretically, the agreement could stand for that, but as of yet, we've not been asked for that.
I see. So through the chair, what sort of events is this agreement covering?
Through the chair, this agreement covers large athletic events, high school proms, banquets, all sorts of events like that. We routinely get about 5 to 6 requests a year.
Mm-hmm. And well, through the chair, could we have a list of what constitutes or the criteria that constitute as a special event?
Through the chair, there is no criteria for that. That'll be based upon a discussion between myself and the school district.
Okay. I'll reserve any other questions I have for future meetings, and I yield the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, legislator McIntyre. Is there any further discussion? I'll follow up with a question to the administration. How long has the Sheriff's Office been providing similar levels of support for these types of events?
Through the chair, I don't have the exact year that we started, but it has been several years.
A decade or more?
I would say approximately 15, but I would have to research to get an exact number.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 25-0183, acceptance of a grant from the New York State Department of Health for the County Emergency Medical Services Support Grant and authorize intermunicipal agreements with municipalities and fire districts in Monroe County.
Move it. Second.
Moved by legislator Long, seconded by legislator Bartholomew McCoy. Is there any discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? Seeing none, the May 19th meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Intergovernmental Relations Committee will be held Monday, June 23rd, 2025 at 5:30 PM.